Welcome back to episode 3 of Radio Media Ad Sales. Thank you for clicking on the video. I hope you like the title because that's the theme of what I'm going to say here for about 5 or 10 minutes. So sit back and relax and listen. You don't need to take notes because you can always watch this video again. You can subscribe to my channel if you want. I haven't made a video in a few weeks because I like to wait for a spontaneous moment where I feel really motivated to say something new and different in addition to my episodes 1 and 2. I've had 2 amazing success stories come down over the last 6 weeks. So I'll start with number 1, and they're great examples of strategies and techniques that you can implement while you're out there prospecting and gold mining and trying to find a needle in a haystack. My first example is not unique. I'm sure you've done it before. I found a prospect on a competing radio station. I wrote it down. I recorded it on my iPhone. I actually record the commercials on my iPhone as I hear them. In my car, I just hit the record app and I listened to it. Contacted them. But here's what's important. I contacted them via the internet, through email and through LinkedIn once again. Tracked down whomever the person is who handles marketing, emailed them, started up some correspondence. I definitely called and left voicemails, but they preferred to work by email, which seems to be the trend. Everyone wants to work by email, so you kind of at the slavery of that. You can't see them, you can't talk to them, so you're at the mercy of email. So that's critical too, so be very careful what words that you use when you craft an email. Keep it short, keep it sweet. Be very careful to use attachments or not. Sometimes if you use attachments, it goes to people's junk file. It goes to their spam file. I try to avoid having attachments as much as possible. I don't have any logo in my email. And be careful too about including hyperlinks in your email because that can sometimes cause it to go to spam and to junk mail as well. Keep in mind too that people, when they're reading your email, they're reading it from their iPhone. About 80% of people, they're reading it from their iPhone, their iPad. So keep it short, keep it to the point, and resend it if you need to. For this first account I'm talking about, I closed for $30,000 in new business. It's a spot advertising campaign. It's a weight loss category. I had to email them over and over and over and over and over and over. And I actually really didn't know if I was making any progress. Suddenly I got a call from somebody else. So I thought I had got a hold of the marketing director, but suddenly I had got contacted via email by a guy who says that he's the decision maker and he would like to learn more about my product and my services and blah, blah, blah. I lined up an appointment to attend one of his luncheon seminars that was nearby in my city and town, and I went there and sat through their entire luncheon and got the whole pitch and presentation. Again, it's a weight loss category. And then I got to meet the client who is the final decision maker. And strategies I used here is definitely mirroring. He's a very fit person. Very clean kept. He's a motivational speaker and a weight loss guy. And this guy was toe to toe with me in a chair for an hour and a half. He was getting to know me. So thank God I was well rested. I was well dressed. I was well groomed. I had plenty of energy like him, and I could mirror him and, very honestly get to know him and sincerely learn more about his business needs, his marketing challenges, and his unique selling proposition, and be able to regurgitate that back to him and really get him to commit to looking at a proposal from me. But to summarize this video, and I closed that business about a week and a half later. I found that lead, I worked it via email and voicemail and email and was very carefully strategized, blah, 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 blah. Getting to the theme of the title of this video, prospect for whales. You spend as much time prospecting for minnows and smaller fish as you do whales. These 2 examples I'm using here, and I'll tell you my second example in a second here, are great examples of stop spending time on little potential orders. Stop spending time on little medium potential orders. Even if your management team or your manager or whomever is pushing you to get money into this month, be very careful to focus on this month or this quarter. You need to be focusing on annual, potential, large advertising campaigns, new clients, whales, six-figure accounts, or $50,000 accounts, or $75,000 accounts. In my case, I closed a $100,000 new business order last Friday. I've never spoken with the client. I prospected in other markets. I found a potential advertiser client that I thought, well, if it's working in New York City, maybe I could get that to work in Chicago. And they smelled opportunity, they smelled money, and somebody, emailed me back. I solicited it, I went for the client, sent them an email, I work LinkedIn, I work the email tricks that I talk about in my other two videos, and somebody got back to me and said, hey, I'd like to learn more. And I pitched the business, I presented it, I handled their objections. But the key part of this whole video here, if I want you to grasp, is I spent time looking for a whale. It took just as much time looking for that whale as it would have taken looking for that $5,000 order or $10,000 order. Actually, 2 months ago, where I spent 2 weeks? I spent 2 weeks presenting a $5,000 campaign to a guy who refurbishes and refinishes bathtubs. Looking back on that, I was thinking to myself, what the F were you thinking? And you can get stuck in that rut. You can get stuck in presenting smaller campaigns, and it's a real problem. It's a real problem because of all the obvious reasons. Do you want to put $5,000 on the books, or do you want to put $100,000 on the books? I closed this $100,000 order with about 15 emails over a 3-week period. Just working it. I went for the big one. And just so you're aware, that was not a spot advertising campaign in terms of commercials. It was a brokered programming campaign. It's some of my responsibilities. I sell long-form weekend brokered programming for multiple radio stations. So take away from this video, and then I'm going to end it. When you're prospecting, please focus on the big potential accounts. I would say spend most of your prospecting time focusing on big potential whales. Because if you land one of them, you are golden. I know none of what I'm saying here is unique or new, but in case nobody's told it to you recently, it is a stark reminder. And here I am sitting here, and it's the middle of the year. I'm now very close to my annual budget because of that one big whale. And I'll be very honest here too. In March and April, I was feeling a little bit funky about my prospecting, but I chose to ignore anything that had happened in the past, learn from the past, and focus on the future. Where do I want to focus my future on? Whales, big accounts. If I could get 1 or 2 big accounts, you know what? I'm going to make my annual budget. Simple as that. Simple as that. So happy prospecting, happy sales. I hope you enjoy what I had to say here today. Please subscribe, please like. Go out there and get it and rock it out. Use your email. Use LinkedIn. Get a hold of people. Leave them a voicemail. Send them packages. Send them your photo. Do whatever the heck you can do to stay top of mind with them. Send them some flowers. Send them a steak gift card. These are all things I've done over the last 3 months. Get them out golfing. Do anything you can. Get them sports tickets. Be the prospect that's on top of them. Be the salesperson that's on top of them more than the other salespeople calling on them. Every prospect that you're going to prospect tomorrow has got 20, 30, 50 other salespeople trying to get a hold of them. So if you stand out, I'm starting to be redundant here. You get it. So go out there and get it. Rock on!